You want to need a mic check or anything, or it's going to pick up okay?
It usually picks up pretty good on this thing. This is a good mic. I can cut a lot of it too, if we have to. This is the 4th of July in Florence, Alabama. Welcome to Muscle Shoals, Steve.
Thanks. Good to be here.
And you're Steve Blaze with Lillian Axe.
Yeah, that's right.
You've got the new album out, 11, the days before tomorrow. And you have a new band. You want to go through the
Actually,
names?
it's not really a new band, new singer.
New singer, Brian Jones.
Yeah, same guys, but we have a brand new singer. I guess it was about a year and a half ago or so, Derek Lefebvre decided he wanted to pretty much stay close to home. Didn't want to do the touring and recording and traveling thing anymore. So after him doing 3 albums and being in the band for 7 years, he decided to kind of opt out. So then we went on nationwide hunt to find the new replacement, which after about 8-9 months of looking around and auditioning, we acquired Brian Jones from Jackson.
And he's very emotional and strong with your songs you do for your style of writing.
Yeah, well, he's got an incredible voice, and his just whole aura and image fit perfectly. Brian was a young teenager when he first started to come see us play. His dad used to take him to see Lillian when we first started out, and so he grew up as a big fan. And so when he had the opportunity, we kind of became somewhat of friends over the years. I would see him at shows. He would come every time we'd be in the Mississippi area. He would come to shows. We kind of became friends, and he was playing music in his own, doing well. He was in a national act as well, playing guitar, and a lot of pretty successful regional acts, vocals and guitar. So when it came down to it, he called me when he found out we were auditioning, and I didn't know he was a vocalist. I just thought he was a really good guitarist. And he said, I can do this. And I said, like I tell everybody, send me something and impress me. And he did.
Wow.
So we spent months working with him and other guys, because replacing the lead singer after 25-year history, that's a very crucial, vital move in a band. So we had to really make sure.
And the front man is a very crucial
Absolutely.
move.
He's the voice of the band. So after a long, drawn out type of rehearsal situation, we told him he had a gig. I kind of knew from the first day I talked to him about it. You get these insights, and so I'm glad it panned out like that. He's doing real well.
And he matches your writing really good with
the
vocals. I was listening to your music. He falls right into place for you.
Exactly.
And then you got Ken Kudelka on drums.
Yep.
And he's been with you for
14
years now.
So
he only played a year before he actually signed up with y'all. He learned about a year before playing drums with you. He's been playing drums for about 15 years now.
No, he's been playing way longer.
Oh, has he?
I thought he was in a lot of other bands way before. He's playing with 20-something years, yeah.
And then you got Eric Morris, which is bass, very good.
Yeah, Eric Morris, and then Sam Portivent, been with me. He joined right when Ken joined. And so, we've got like I said, this is actually our 24th year since our first album came out. We've been out since '83. So,
yeah, I remember '83 with you guys.
But our first record came out in '88, so we're like 24 years of recording, 11 albums, and just.
Then y'all went the commercial part with MCA, and then that's when y'all picked up Ron Taylor. And
well, that was when before I got signed to MCA, and they wanted me to reform the whole band before we did the first album.
Yeah, I remember that there. And then Marshall Burrell, Bill Burrell's nephew, had a lot to do with a lot of your promotions.
He was managing Rat at the time, and he's the one that saw us when we did a bunch of shows with Rat and Poison and Queensryche, and got us involved with Robin Crosby and got us our first deal with MCA.
What was it like playing with Queensryche? You did get to play with it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, we played with hundreds and hundreds of bands, and they were a great band. This is back when they were, kind of on their rise up.
I see they're coming back too. Did you see that?
Yeah, they're still around. So
they're still around. I heard they're coming back out. Sylvia Massey, and she does all your mixing on there.
Actually, she did the mix on the last record.
On the last record?
She mixed 47 Ways to Die on the last album, which was on that movie, The Hit List, last year. And then we liked what she did so much on that song that we asked her to mix the whole record.
And then Ty Tabor with King's X.
Ty mastered it, yeah.
He mastered it?
Yeah, he's mastered the last 2 records.
He's done a really excellent job on that.
He's good, very good at what he does.
And like I said, you've really got to listen to this album. It's a album of continuity. It goes all the way through from point to point, and if people listen to it, they'll really understand how you've put this together. It is like a novel in a way.
It is. It's almost conceptual, and that was one thing that just kind of fell into place. That we realized that when we were doing it, that everything was very congruous. You know, everything just from one song to the other, it just fit. It was like this very attached, smooth line going through the whole record.
And I call that the old school days of real entertainment.
Right.
And
well, people, a lot of times they don't realize that the order in which you play songs on a record is important to people that actually buy CDs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you just go download a song or two, they're missing out on a lot of it. But when for bands that really put emphasis on an album as being an entire work of art, almost like a novel, it's very important how you place the songs with each other. So I think we really nailed it on this one.
I agree with you on that. Today's music, what are your thoughts of what the audience is missing in today's music?
What is it missing?
Yeah.
It's missing a lot. Because of the fact that it's so easy to get information on bands and download one song at a time. They're missing album cover artwork. They're missing, even now, even CD art. Everybody just wants to go get a song, and they're missing the whole opportunity to learn about new bands. I mean,
a lot of guys, the album covers have a lot to say about what the song was in there.
It went hand in hand with the album, and kids are missing out on that big time. They're missing out on live shows because of YouTube and the internet. Everything, you can have anything you want, so kids are spoiled. They're numbed out to, learning about mystery in a band and being able to,
It's
not
right there.
know everything. I don't need to be able to hit a button and see what color slippers the guys in Kiss are wearing today. It doesn't matter. But now you can find that out in the click of a button. It takes all the mystery and the special moments out of following bands and music.
Now, I know you have a lot of inspiration from God, and the one song, Babylon, I did find quite a bit on this one right here. When the dark hides the light, it's a cloak for the innocent. When the blood disappears, it's a phony absolution for the sheep with no sight. When the dead walk the earth, it's a sign for the innocent. When the base turns to gold, it's a secret for the magic's hiding places found out.
Yeah.
That's talking the streets of gold of heaven, right?
Actually, it is, and it's also talking about alchemy.
Alchemy and
a friend of mine, Billy the Exterminator, he has a TV show.
Yeah, I remember him.
Well,
we have some of the same conspiracy theories.
Yeah, well, we're good friends, and he and I have had lengthy conversations. He's a very intelligent, smart guy, and he's really tied in and locked into a lot of knowledge on things like that. So one night we talked for a couple hours about conspiracy theories and end of the world type stuff. And,
mm-hmm. Yeah, I see my painting I have called Revelation. I have.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
But that's what that song is about. It's about conspiracy theory and the end of time with the religious tie.
Because Babylon is brought up on the end, and then I was wondering about the base of gold. Were you meaning
it's about
the streets
alchemy.
of gold?
Yeah.
And then losing of the sheep and the blood. There's so many people that believe that they're the blood of the sheep.
I refer to the ignorant masses as sheep. The people that just follow whatever's in front of them without thinking.
If you could go back in time, would you do anything differently?
I would, but if I was back at that same particular time in that moment, I've always made the best decisions that I thought at that moment. There are some things I'm sure if I had the opportunity to go back and don't do that, do this, but when you're in that moment, I don't think there are any decisions that I made against what I would do again if I was in that particular situation.
And then
not that they were the best decisions at the time, but at the moment I thought they were.
They were at the time. Yeah. And what would you say was the most important day of your life?
When my son was born.
I knew you were going to say that. You're very much a family man too, so that's a great thing. And what do you do to relax? What are your hobbies?
I don't relax.
You don't relax? You're
no,
constantly
actually, I relaxed 2 days in a row because we got stationed in Pigeon Forge. We had a canceled show there, so me and the road manager went and did all the touristy stuff. Dinner, movies, downtown Gatlinburg, haunted house, all that kind of stuff. When I'm at home, I spend a lot of time with my wife and little boy. But I take kung fu, play at a basketball league, work out. I run my own company as well. And there's not a lot of relaxation.
Not a lot of it.
One day. It's not now.
Kind of like me, I'm a single parent raising a daughter, and it's
Yep.
a lot of work.
Yes, it is.
When you're on the road, do you have a favorite pig out food?
Pig out food?
Yeah. Do you get that where you have to go out and hit something every once in a while, or
I like Skyline chili and steak and shake.
Skyline
if I can find it.
If you can find it, we'll see if more people have it. And what kind of music are you listening to lately?
I've always listened to a lot of classical New Age music. That's, I was a classical guitarist when I was 6 years old, so that's where my roots are.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I listen to everything. There's some new bands that I really like. I like all the old school Scorpions and Alice and Van Halen, Black Sabbath, Ozzy, so many bands. Some of the more, I guess, contemporary bands, I like Muse, Chevelle. I mean, I'm fans of, bands we're touring with now, like After Pussycat, Great White, all these guys that are friends of mine, Bullet Boys, and guys I listened to their stuff when we were coming out too as well. So I listen to everything. I'm not really big into the glut of new music that all sounds like everybody's trying to sound exactly the same.
Yeah, it's all the cookie cutter.
It really is. There's no originality in anything anymore.
Say a couple lyrics, put some beats to it, you got a song.
Yeah, and radio has made it very difficult. It's so corporate right now that nobody's getting a fair shot at radio anymore. Mm-hmm. So I don't listen to it.
Yeah, I don't either. I gave up on the radio. That's why I like the independent artists.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about censorship of today's music?
Well, it depends on the format. I mean, there's got to be some censorship. I'm not going to let my 3-year-old listen to things that are unsuitable for them. There should be some. It depends on the level. I mean, there are going to be some avenues on the internet. I think no matter where you have something that is unsuitable for kids, there's got to be the ability for a parent to cut it and to monitor it. That I believe, whether it's TV or internet or radio, whatnot, there's got to be the ability. And it's a parental thing. But I do think everybody has artists of any type of, whether it's music or comedy or whatnot. I think they should have some responsibility, towards their audience.
And a lot of people are believing they shouldn't be censored no matter what. No.
Well, I don't think anybody should be told you can or can't do something within reason. Obviously, you got to have laws. Mm-hmm. But as far as like vulgarity and stuff like that, that's got to be censored. It has to be. You can't have. There's got to be. I agree with it 100%. You've got to have some kind of. You can't say an artist can't do something, but I can say that it is not going to be directed towards children or kids under a certain age.
Yeah,
that's got to be the result. The problem is we have poor parenting in most cases. Parents have to step up and be responsible for what's happening to their kids. Yeah, my kid won't watch anything ever.
Yeah,
they have to watch anything that he's not supposed to. Won't happen.
Because that's how it is today. A lot of the parents aren't even watching what the kids are doing. The kids are just running around wild.
I agree.
And nobody's there to get. So they learn from the kids that they're hanging with, and they think that's the right way. Now you do all your writing of all your own songs. How old were you when you started your writing?
Writing? I was writing really bad songs in 6th grade.
In 6th grade, you started writing though, but you started that creative cooking.
Yeah,
in 6th
that's
grade.
when it started. I started, I was into horror movies and and trying to incorporate music in horror movies, and always been into supernatural and.
You like the Rob Zombie stuff?
Yeah, musically it's good. Yeah, I like it for what it is. It's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's another showman in his own.
Right, he's great. We just did a festival with him in Oklahoma, and the show was amazing. For what he does, he's great.
But he's the old school showman that takes everything through an act, the entertainment, not just out there and.
Right, exactly.
They laid me down some beats, and I got me a song, a hit song. A little bit of auto-tune, and we'll have it.
Yeah.
What do you like to read? Are there any books that are your favorite, or do you even have a chance to do it?
I don't really have a chance to read as much as I want to. The Bible's always with me. But
Amen.
I do read, I'm reading a book called, I can't remember, it's 4 Minutes in Heaven or something. It's about a little boy that died and went to heaven. I'm in the middle of reading that right now. But, gosh, I can't remember the last. I haven't really had the opportunity to sit. I've got about 20 books lined up that I need to get into reading. I just don't have time. I really don't.
And with all your writing, and then I bet you wake up in the middle of the night and go, "Hey, I got a song I remember."
And I hum it into my recorder. So.
Oh, do you really? Yeah. And then, so, I like the direction. I've watched your band advanced so much over the years, and it's in a positive advancement with refinements.
Right.
And the way you guys are really going through things, I can tell that you're very picayune on everything that you've done with your music. And you're not one of these ones just to, hey, it's done, I'm going to put it out there. I guarantee you got a lot
of
stuff
hard work and planning.
But there's a lot of artists out there. What would you recommend for an artist to make it today's music the proper way? I mean,
first of all, find the right guys, write, play, write, make smart decisions, believe in what you're doing, and do everything you can to get your name and your talent out there. I would recommend on a more specific level that you don't go out and I would record fewer amount of your better songs and go. Some guys go, let's just go put a record out. We put 10 or 12 songs out that are some are good and some are lackadaisical, you know. And I recommend take your top best 2 songs or 3 and put a lot into them and make them great. You know, not rush to put material out all the time.
And I see that a lot. I'll go and listen to a couple songs of some bands, and then all of a sudden you get down to the 4 or 5, and you go, "What did they even put it on?"
Chemistry in the band, too. The chemistry in the band is so important too.
And it seems like you got a good chemistry band with you right now.
Yeah.
I want to get to do some video of you, get to see you up there. I'll get maybe a song of you. Because your stage presence, from what I've seen on the other videos and what y'all do on stage, y'all really put a good show on. You really entertain.
We put everything into it.
And it's great to meet you again, Steve. It's been many years. You know, it's almost been 20 years to the day since the last time I talked to you.
Are you serious?
Because you were down in Z-Rock on July 7th of 1992.
Yeah.
And this is July 4th. So it's been almost 20 years since I saw you. I've talked to you on the phone before, but
wow.
This is 20 years. That was 20 years ago. And I'm up here in the Shoals now. And like I said, we'll be doing this on here. And I appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Thank you.
God bless you, and
Same
I wish you luck on your tour.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.